linked to lower inflammation rather than higher. And contrary to the evidence linking seed oils to adverse health outcomes is weak, often manipulated to fit a preconceived narrative. Dr. Kevin Klatt is a nutrition scientist, and he's debunked these myths. He's emphasized dietary balance, not elimination, as the key. And he rightly points out that a variety of fats, including those seed oils, can and should be part of a healthy diet. Despite the lack of credible evidence, the anti-seed oil rhetoric is thriving on social media. A lot of this is because of those very same charismatic influencers who prioritize clicks and sales over integrity. Carnivore Aurelius, among others, is capitalizing on this by promoting his own dietary products. And the anti-seed oil movement is yet another example of how charismatic but scientifically illiterate influencers are exploiting pushing dangerous narratives that can mislead and harm people who are just looking for genuine health advice at the end of the day. Cholesterol has also become a battleground of misinformation, with many influencers claiming high cholesterol levels are harmless or maybe even beneficial. One prominent figure here is Dr. Berg, who promotes
What?
So-called good cholesterol.
Nice.
The only problem is his claims lack any sort of substantiation from long-term studies, and in fact, there's a 2013 meta-analysis of randomized controlled trials. So in other words, an analysis of RCT, which found...
Watching you guys suck dick and get 4 kills. Get out of competitive, you fucking pieces of shit. Get out of competitive.
Contrary to what Berg claims. Now, in reality, high cholesterol...
I remember why I quit this game now is the liars.
Extensive research showing that elevated LDL levels, often again called the bad cholesterol, can lead to buildup of plaques in arteries, increasing the risk of heart attack and stroke. Medical professionals widely agree managing cholesterol is crucial for cardiovascular health. Dr. Berg cherry-picks evidence that confirms his biases while ignoring all of the studies, and there are many, that contradict his claims. And of course, he fails to cite recent systematic reviews and relies on selective references that undermine the principles of evidence-based medicine. Despite the overwhelming evidence, Berg and other anti-cholesterol influencers, they're not even against cholesterol, they're anti-cholesterol science influencers. They're getting a lot of traction on social media, and they exploit people's mistrust in the medical establishment to either sell books or supplements or consultation services. And their rhetoric not only misleads the public, but it puts people at risk by encouraging them to ignore proven medical advice. To address these dangerous myths, experts recommend trusting well-established medical guidelines, advice from qualified healthcare professionals, understanding that high cholesterol is a significant risk factor for heart disease, and you've got to be cautious of influencers who lack credentials and make these claims. Even Berg claims that pharmaceutical interests drive the prescription of cholesterol-lowering statin medications doesn't pass the test because, number one, the doctors writing the prescriptions have no financial insurance. The drugs have been around for so long. on medical
5 assists.
to make your ideas seem more plausible. And here are some of the arguments that are used with what I think are the relatively obvious rebuttals. So there's the claim that the medical controlled environment. And furthermore, many of the widely used drugs started as supplements or are derived from plants. And if you find a molecule in a plant, so many examples of this. And then finally, there's the claim that the medical community wants to put you on drugs for the rest of your life instead of curing your illness. If you
What? Oh, come on. Damn it, Garbo.
Is what you are stumbling upon when scrolling or clicking and be trusted. First of all, verify credentials. Check the background and qualifications of influencers offering multipliers. Look for with recognized credentials in the field where they are providing expertise, whether it's or others. News reports might appear cardiovascular health advice. But you can read the abstract.
What? Advises you to buy something, particularly an overpriced supplement. That's a red flag. And most importantly, talk to your doctor because they will be able to provide better advice than any health influencer, especially if it's tailored to your particular situation. So be on the lookout. We only named a few people: Barbara O'Neill, Paul Saladino, Carnivore Aurelius, Eric Berg, but there are so many others to keep an eye out on. If you value what we do at the David Pakman Show, remember to support us on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/David Pakman Show, where you can get access to behind-the-scenes videos, the daily bonus show, the commercial-free.
Hopefully soon, the Mississauga police will be paying him a nice little visit. I told them that he was armed and dangerous, Have you ever been on Twitter and wondered to yourself if a person really meant the outrageous stuff they were saying or just trying to get engagement? If so, you've probably run across Ian Miles' Chalk. But what's surprising is that beyond a constant stream of tweets on every single topical event known to man, is a guy that has spent the last explains how he used a hose to wash the red. They call it and so indie developer in 2005 he posted it to the site you are I can like stuff but man, you're as you can imagine, this allowed Invictus, it refers to me. He was so ecstatic, he provided them a glowing testimonial. He later tried to express his concern in private, only to get warned as a publishing partner. This is ultimately why it took 3 years for him to criticize the game publicly. The article was controversial as Ian effectively admitted that he
gotta cook something to eat real quick while in between matches. I'll be right back. Oh, this cord didn't connect. God damn it. This cord needs to connect. There we go. What time is it? It is, it is 3 in the morning. Okay, good.
negative coverage. This was only the beginning, as soon more ethical issues emerged. But before we get any further, let's give a brief word to my sponsor. If you're like me, you're probably spending a lot of time sitting behind a computer. But that doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing to get a flexible spot. Flexible spot is a brand with polarized adjustable depth. This is just a computer for me since I don't want to have to look back. Will hold up to 355 pounds and
competitive is not where you learn.
Accounts to promote sites he had financial interest in. Zol Invictus is the biggest spammer on Reddit. He makes money from your clicks on sites that he repeatedly posts here. We are all being pushed by this guy. Zol Invictus does not want his biggest aside from Reddit user on the website who submits his own contents. I simply wasn't as careful about making friends and enemies as I should have been. This incident brought a lot of attention to me. He kept his position at GameHouse. He continued to face criticism throughout his tenure. This was an article that helped him
What?
between developers illustrated in Five Guys. It sought to address cronyism and a perceived lack of integrity, but it quickly devolved into a debate surrounding sexism and identity politics. That, alongside claims of harassment, made the movement ineffectual, beyond launching the careers of many online figures. This is where we return to Ian, who was subject to much of this criticism. Ian was immediately dismissive, going on record to state, "Ethics in game journalism? It's f***ing game journalism. Who gives a flying f***? Hey Gamergates, go f*** yourselves." He wrote 8 articles about the subject, portraying it as a harassment campaign. The Gamergate movement was founded upon the harassment of independent game developers of the win, and is responsible for the harassment of several other game developers, media critics such as Anita Sarkeesian, and their supporters in the game industry. In response,
Yadia is Overwatch's newest support hero, and I've been lucky enough to have early access to her.
Player kill streak, bitch. 30 seconds. Ooh, yeah. We should have won. We have 15 seconds to spare. We did it faster than them. I guess it wouldn't really be like that, yeah. 2 minutes and 2:15. Fuck, it's a bitter game.
I'm a contender support player, peaking rank 5 on NA ladder, and I'm covering everything you could possibly want to know about this hero. You won't be a pro just from watching this video, but you'll have every piece of information needed to take you there. First up is primary fire. It's a railgun like Sojourn's, but it charges automatically. Base damage is 25, but if you let it charge all the way, it goes up to 75. Her headshot multiplier is 1.5x, so a headshot does 112, meaning you can 2-tap squishies. You want to charge it to full every single time you shoot, with the exception of finishing off low HP targets. There is one drawback though to her gun, and that's damage fall off. At max range, it only does a third. However, that's still almost enough to kill 200 HP targets with 3 headshots. Here's the range that her damage starts to fall off. It's pretty close, so on shots like Jumping Town and Circuit Royal, it's going to come into play a lot, but on close range shots, you won't really get it. Secondary fire is a guarantee with a 50-meter range, kind of like Starter. It took 120 kills per second, which sounds insane, but it doesn't last very long, and it takes a while to reach. Keep in mind that has an overheat, so you don't get like a recent fire. You really just can't put it in Mars or start to stop it, let's talk about a healing pylon. It has a 15-meter radius and is undoubtedly the most important part of her kit. Think of it like a spear with a pylon in the middle, but also keep in mind that it needs to keep LOS with your teammates. It does quite a bit of healing, 40 heals every 0.8 seconds, and it targets the lowest ally inside of the sphere. When you throw it down, it has an 8-second cooldown, and then you can throw it down again. But if it starts taking damage, you can't replace it, and if it breaks, it's going to run a 12-second cooldown. If you want, you can break it yourself with your own launch button, and it won't have a cooldown. From your initial already. The placement of this pylon is the most important part of her kit. Without it, you are very easily killable, and your secondary fire is not enough to keep you up by itself. Number one rule of keeping a pylon alive, throw it somewhere high up. You almost always want to have a wall between it and the other pylon. Think of choke points like icon missiles. If you throw it up on the ceiling, they have to walk through the choke before they can stop the circle. Travelers survive much longer than a pylon has just been open and able to shot them before they're all through. So it really shot a bomb on a new map and won't be around as you go. For example, this one on King's Row, the other two can clearly didn't take
Oh.
no one would be working on the attack. The pylon itself has 160 HP, and you can even use it as a shield.
25 and 8.
Okay, next up is her dash, and this is the most confusing part of her kit. It boots people, and it does 10 damage.
Oh no.
Holding the ability down or holding jump gives you extra height, and you can combo this with your directional inputs and go forwards, backwards, sideways, however you want. The extra height part is a little bit confusing, so I'll go through all of these elements. It basically boils down to if you hold down either the jump or the ability button, you'll get the extra height. If you don't want the height, don't hold either of them, just tap the ability button. If you jump and you attack at the peak of your jump, it gives you a little bit of extra height. You also go higher if you're not holding down W, A, S, or D when you hold jump or the ability button. So if you want max height out of this, you want to jump, let go of W, A, S, and D, and then hold shift. Her ult is really exciting. It's the first pure DPS ult from a support hero that we have. Pressing it,
I have the most kills here out of the 10 people. Oh no, my Astro's above me.
Explosion. The projectile is pretty slow, and it can be eaten by things like Diva's defense matrix. It passes through enemies and shields, and it explodes on objects only. It does 5 damage if it passes through an enemy, and 50 when it explodes initially. After it explodes, it sticks a little sun thing on everyone inside the explosion radius. This applies a very strong slowing effect, and dealing 100 damage to someone with the sun on them causes it to explode for another 120 damage. The damage adds up to 100 even if it's healed, and the explosion from proccing it on one person is enough to proc it on someone next to them, leading to a big chain reaction. You can use this ult for yourself a lot of the time because even one headshot or 2 body shots procs it. The stun effect lasts for 7 seconds and it can be cleansed by Kiriko Suzu, Reaper Wraith, Moira Fade, and Zarya Bubbles. Okay, let's get to gameplay. First of all, this hero is way too much fun. Her most optimal playstyle is throwing the pylon in a spot that the other team can't see, but your team can still make use of. Usually, this is on the ceiling, or behind a corner, or around a wall. The more upcast you have on your pylon, the less you have to do secondary fire, and you can pump out more DPS. And the gun is ridiculous. It hits hand as long as it is in your 30 meter range, and 2 top squishies. If it's super close to you, body shot melee is also enough to kill squishies. You can kill Tracer ridiculously fast with a headshot, low charge body shot, or a double full charge body shot. Even if it's not close, the damage is nearly enough to 3-shot his wet max fall off. And it's enough to 3-cap Widow because she has no defense. That's right, we finally have a way to deal with Widowmaker on support. It's been a long freaking time coming. Against Widow, you just jiggle, take a shot, go back, full charge, and repeat. And this works. I mean, I was playing tubs against on-song Sniper, who's an Overwatch League DPS player, and every time he keeps out-chunking, you have to stand behind cover against the healing. But let's address the elephant in the room. Hitting shots. Don't worry, this is a learning skill, and there are strategies that you can use to make it a little bit better. First off, take your time. It takes a while for the thing to charge up, and you don't want to just be like, spam pushing shots and having to wait for the full charge again. I've also found that it helps a lot to aim with my feet. The idea is that you put your crosshair at head level and you aim with your movement. Move using A or E and apply your shot with the crosshair on the head. It's much more consistent and time to roll. I've found that the most people at long ranges can highly adjust the things to feel another very important very easy but if you don't look at it, like shots are staying there. There's nothing wrong with taking the Another thing is waiting for their movement to be visible. You'll find that in low range, a lot of people jump around, and it's actually the easiest to hit someone in the or maybe you can on it and still think you're
No, I don't wanna. Ah, you fucking dick.
Without your pylon, you are nothing. Make sure that you're putting it in the right spot. If you want to improve on this hero, that is the first thing that you should be looking at. If your pylon is down, not only are you super vulnerable and easily killed, but you're also going to be using right click on your teammates.
Gonna leave the game now and change games. Go back to my Rust base and play a whole different Rust vibe now. You know, now that all the losers are gone and they've gone to bed. Let's see what Rust is like when all those people are done. Maybe I can get something done now. Let's see. It was good to get, you know, I think I got like 5 and 3 or something like that. 5 and 3 placements, something like that. It was pretty fun. Change the title now. It was pretty fun. I enjoyed it. Gonna go back to Rust solo here for the rest of the evening and switch it to a little bit more of a peaceful thing, and we'll look into the Ultimate Alari guide. Thank you, SK. That's SK.
As far as flanking goes, I wouldn't really. Yadi is Overwatch's newest support hero, and I've been lucky enough to have early access to her. I'm a contender support player, peaking rank 5 on NA ladder, and I'm covering
contender support. Not bad, contender support.
Possibly want to know about this hero. You won't be a pro just from watching this video, but you'll have every piece of information needed to take you there. First up is primary fire. It's a railgun like Sojourn's, but it charges automatically. Base damage is 25, but if you let it charge all the way, it goes up to 75. Her headshot multiplier is 1.5x, so a headshot does 112 when using 2-tap squishies. You want to charge it to full every single time you shoot, with the exception of finishing off low HP targets. There is one drawback though to her gun, and that's damage fall off. At max range, it only does a third. However, that's still almost enough to kill 200 HP targets with 3 headshots. Here's the range that her damage starts to fall off. It's pretty close, so on maps like Junkertown and Circuit Royal, it's going to come into play a lot, but on close range maps you won't really notice it. Her secondary fire is a healing beam with a 15 meter range, kind of like Zarya's. It does 120 heals per second, which sounds
Wow. Oh, I don't know. Fucking, I guess. Yeah. Is that what they did? Yeah, I guess they probably did. Yeah, I imagine. Or, I don't know. Is that what we did? I can't remember. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I believe it is. Okay, and then I gotta go to this, which is gone over to the wrong screen. There we go. Gotta change it. And again, I'm gonna go do some Rust, EvE, FFXI, and Rust. Oops. EvE, FFXI, and Rust. Save. There we go. Okay, and we are now in the right thing. We'll go back to live, yeah, and live, yeah, and then we come through and we see you, good, and we're still on that session for another a couple of hours, I guess. Come into Rust and see how it is. If it's dead, then I think this is actually a mistake. I don't believe I actually will play Rust. I think I'm going to go to Fortnite for the last 2 hours. Yep, and I think I'm off the Overwatch. We'll leave some content for tomorrow because I grind through it too quickly.
Gamergate dug into his past and found the racist old chat logs. They were further circulated in an article by controversial streamer Ethan Ralph. This made Ian apologize, only to blame a toxic gaming culture. So I need to talk about something. I'm sure some of you who've seen my interactions with the GG can attest to the toxicity of the issue. I said some dumb gross shit while young. Dumb and under the influence of the very toxic gaming community that is trying to smear me today. I apologize for saying those things in the past. And will continue to work and advocate against the excessive amounts of racism and anti-Semitism.
My God, he sounds like my friend Begon. I'm sympathetic to people like this, but they also don't deal well socially with other people. It's kind of funny. This guy obviously cannot handle the other people. I can. The difference is I don't want to. I've been hurt too badly. There's a big fucking difference. I absolutely can handle almost anybody, but
in gaming. Thank you for hearing me out. Ian
I was gonna cook something. I'll be right back.
Clarified he was 16 at the time. This fell on deaf ears as detractors continue to call him a bigot. One such comment from Kotaku in Action, a pro-Gamergate subreddit, reads, Ian Miles Chong, a known anti-Semite among other things, is still in a position of power among anti-Gamergates. It seems one side values its credibility. In response, a now deleted user defended him. Can we keep character defamation out of the sub? It makes us look as bad as the other side. Since when is truth a defamation? Oh, come on, we're better than this. This account, as it turns out, belonged to Ian himself, which was proven in a leaked IRC for Reddit mods. It also revealed that Ian continued to spam his own links years after being caught. In October of 2014, Ian called out Kotaku in Action's mod 28 Dans later. He accused the man of having a second account where he bragged about assaulting women. So Gamergate has an actual rapist in its midst, leading the pack in a movement that claims not to be about misogyny. No, you misread. He actually claims to have committed rape. Ian backtracked on this within an hour, clarifying it was believed and impossible to prove. A Reddit admin with access to the IP logs is the only one capable of proving that. To make it clear, there was no evidence. Yet he was willing to levy the accusations baselessly. In the end, his character attack achieved its goal as Dan was removed as a moderator. The same couldn't be said for his campaign against Ryan Coons, the developer of Honeypop. Honeypop is an adult hybrid puzzle dating sim released in early 2015. It was funded on Kickstarter, where it earned over $50,000. The game received backlash from those who felt it was a creepy game for incels. Ryan mocked them, calling them SJWs, and refused to censor his project. This earned respect from Gamergaters, who made it known with their wallets. Its launch was so successful, Honeypop reached number 7 on Steam's bestseller list. The success enraged Ian, who tweeted incessantly, apparently the makers of Honeypop think that there's an SJW conspiracy against their game. He's pandering hard to Gamergates. It's depressing, I know. Maybe this will encourage other devs to court GG. You know what? I don't give a shit. Feel free to out yourself as a piece of trash. The tirade culminated in an article for GameRinks where he tried to get Honey Pop banned. His argument centered around an official patch that added nudity back into the game. Ian alleged it violated Steam's terms of service, and reached out to Valve for comment. Violating Steam's terms of service is so ethical, you guys. This campaign was short-lived though, as Honey Pop was cleared the next day, a victory that was thrown in his face. If you want to spend your money on Honey Pop, that's your right, and your business. Strangely, it was after this that Ian seemed to have a change of heart. You see, he began to adopt more neutral stances that didn't align with his previous views. For example, criticizing Polygon and taking points off for mature content. It caught the attention of Kotaku in Action, who remarked on his sudden turn. I am confused with his change, as he has steadily been making sense for almost 2 months now. Did he see the old guard falling? Did he decide to stand on his own opinions? I have no clue, but many weren't buying it. He's a bandwagoner. He goes whichever way seems to grant him more power. Rats fleeing a sinking ship that is SJW gaming journalism. That sentiment Ian released a formal apology.
Listening to you guys talk is like listening to Reddit, and I don't really want to hear Reddit. I don't want to hear Reddit when you speak. Or you understand? Do you understand? I don't want to hear Reddit when you speak. Okay, let's get a plate. That. Oh yes, very good. I'll have a glass of water. Time for dinner. Ouch. Oh, very hot. Time for dinner. Ouch, very hot. Keep it away from me. Headphones. Beef stroganoff.
May 26, 2015, apologizing for broadly misrepresenting gamers and demonizing them for the crime of liking video games. I joined the choir of dehumanizing voices, attacking my fellow gamers. I was completely intolerant. I was being an ass. I had lost my way. I had no right to dehumanize nor attack gamers as a whole. He also distanced himself from the social justice movement. I don't believe there's anything wrong with social justice as an idea, but as a movement, it's a different story. Despite having ideals, it's easy to get lost in a mire of insults and dehumanizing attacks when engaged in a heated battle over social media. This is my sin. I contributed to an atmosphere of intolerance and aggression. It may seem hypocritical for me to rail against outrage in recent tweets. I sought something to oppose, and yet I find myself asking now how these issues even matter when it caused hurt to others. I am sorry if I've ever hurt you. At the time, the apology felt earnest, which is reflected in its response. They welcomed Ian with open arms as he began covering the subreddit positively. I took a trust but verify position on Chong when he first posted his general apology. Credit where credit is due. He's been behaving like a principled adult since then. Good for him. Before long, Ian was criticizing feminist frequency and calling Kotaku everything wrong with gaming journalism. Game journalism is a dying scene because most gamers don't trust agenda-driven bloggers who are more interested in whining in politics. His once detractors were now loyal fans who celebrated his heel turn. Eventually, Ian was writing for Heat Streets, The Sun, and other news outlets run by the same people that own Fox News. This is about when his coverage started to veer from gaming. The last notable run-in he had with his
This is when he stopped being a gamer entirely.
former clique was with the Con chat leaks. In short, Crash Override Network was an anti-harassment organization started by Alex Lifshitz and Zoe Quinn. They partnered with Feminist Frequency, who served as its official sponsor. In August of 2017, over 850,000 lines were leaked from their Skype groups. It proved many of Gamergate's targets were colluding, at least to some degree. That included Ian Miles Chong, who donated and worked with Zoe Quinn. GameRinks later added disclosures to address the issue. Coverage of Gamergate at this point in time was not done in good faith. Ian Miles Chong was a member of Crash Override at this time. Ian owned up to his involvement and more importantly verified they were real. He even wrote an article on the subject for Heat Street. Beyond doxing and expecting the
Listen to you talk and Reddit speak.
Individuals, the group went a step further and discussed contacting employers to get people fired. This included silencing a member of the
Like you
Armed
expect us
Forces
to know what you're
that
talking about.
for his views supporting Gamergate by contacting a superior officer. There was no shortage of threats to sue anyone who supported Gamergate into financial oblivion. There was no turning back. Ian built all the bridges that remained with his peers.
Excuse me.
But this proved
I know the
beneficial
feeling.
in long run. He started writing about skeptic YouTubers and Pepe the Frog. The latter was in defense against claims that the meme was anti-Semitic. No, Hillary, Pepe the Frog is not a racist meme.
Yes, it
The
is.
publication later issued an apology. This article was wrong and we should never have published it. Pepe the Frog is anti-Semitic. They retracted his article and claimed to have shown him the evidence. Ian reiterated this on Twitter, where people called him a sellout. I was right about Still Gray. He didn't have a change of heart about Gamergate. He just followed
The food's so good.
But this was a minor setback in the grand scheme of things, as he took advantage of the 2016 presidential election. The turning point was his coverage of Antifa and recent protests across college campuses. This was the golden age of being an anti-SJW on the internet.
Antifa.
And he was popular enough to land himself an interview on national TV with Tucker Carlson.
So, how real is this?
100% real. You know, we've seen this with at a demonstration.
Look at this idiot fucking like totally con this idiot. He's like, oh my god, I've got Tucker on the line. Look at this idiot.
More recently in Evergreen, we've seen it at Seattle. We've seen it in a variety of places across the United States, you know, Baltimore, Mississippi, everywhere.
In June of 2017, Ian began writing for the Daily Caller, a right-wing news site founded by Tucker Carlson.
Oh good, right-wing news site founded by Tucker Carlson. Oh good.
Over the next year, they covered subjects like BuzzFeed, identity politics, and feminism. That included male feminists, for which he declared the witch hunters have become the witches hunted. Male feminists, these self-proclaimed paragons of sexual virtue, wear a skin that deceives women into thinking that they're safe. They say, I respect women. I'm one of the good guys. You can trust me not to take advantage of you. In doing so, they have been able to worm themselves into feminist safe spaces. These men believe what they say, but it's only because they think all other men are sexually predatory. They act superior to other men because they believe.
But I mean, that's true. That's true, though.
Keeping their nature in
I'm one of those.
The irony wasn't lost on those that have followed his career. There was no consistency as Ian doubled down on being an ideologue. He stood against witch hunts until the accusations were convenient. He criticized art of people punching Nazis, while his banner showed Donald Trump, Jordan Peterson, and Milo Yiannopoulos beating up feminists with the help of Ugandan knuckles. There were endless examples of this, as he always seemed to contradict himself. Any supposed principles fell to the wayside as he constantly shared misinformation. One example relates to the Charlottesville car attack. On August 12, 2017, white supremacist James Alex Fields Jr. drove his car into a crowd at the Unite the Right rally. The attack injured 35 people and killed 32-year-old Heather Heyer. Within hours, Ian tweeted out, "What if I told you that 4chan's poll has mobilized to find out who the driver of the Charlottesville car is, and it isn't who you think it is?" The answer was never given, as they apparently changed their mind. Poll is now saying it might be some guy who might be alt-right now. Ha, who knows with anything anymore? Just wait for the police. Bear in mind, Ian mocked journalists for getting tricked by 4chan in the past.
Oh, you alt-writers, you're so clueless. You all go with your hashtags. It's all Reddit and science to you. It's hilarious. You can't read between the lines at all, can you? It's sort of sad. Watching you try to figure it all out. It's like the nerd in high school who's like, damn it, I can't figure out why Deborah doesn't like me. Because you have to read between the lines. You can't. Ah, food was good. Yeah. Time to do some work. Florida shooter.
The internet provocateur
Do your
was
own
often
research next
called
time,
out for rage
kiddos.
baiting and using articles he hadn't looked at. He once tweeted out a headline that read, "Arming teachers would endanger students of color." He misrepresented this before claiming it was conjecture based on hysteria when corrected. When faced with the author's citations, he claimed they were decades old and cherry-picked. In another breath, he tweeted out, "Intellectual, empathetic, pick one." It was part of a thread where he claimed the transatlantic slave trade didn't occur until the 18th
Transatlantic slave
which
trade.
is simply false. Many critics would claim if something didn't fit Ian's narrative, he'd baselessly question its authenticity. When a 22-year-old immigrant scaled a building to save a 4-year-old, he called it staged. How does a toddler have the body strength to hold like that anyway? There was no end to this, prioritizing outrage above all else. On March 14, 2018, beloved scientist Stephen Hawking passed away. Ian used this to rant about claims of misogyny. The feminist outrage crew just learned of Stephen Hawking's death, and their response is nothing short of predictable. The only problem is he included tweets made long before Hawking died. It was a cycle in which he'd exaggerate or flat out invent outrage to farm engagement. This was covered extensively in regards to the indie game Cuphead. Ian was the first to share journalist Dean Takahashi's notoriously bad gameplay. He used its virality to fearmonger. His subsequent claims were covered in a video by creator Sean, which received 800,000 views.
I don't know how it's possible to rely on the recommendations of game journalists when they don't even have basic reflexes needed to play. It explains why they're all enamored with walking simulators, so that's quite the extrapolation there. Dean Takahashi, the singular person being bad at Cuphead for a bit at a games expo, is now all games journalists being terrible at all games, all the time. All this despite Takahashi's preview of the game and the later actual review on the site, both praising Cuphead's difficulty.
At a certain point, Ian's views were incomprehensible. He denied global warming and argued climate change was a hoax by neo-Marxists. The specifics didn't matter as he argued with figures like Chelsea Manning. The few non-political friendships he had left dissipated, as seen in this exchange with artist Shen Comics. They had interacted in the past, but the baggage became too much for Shen to ignore. Ian, no offense, but whenever you retweet me, I get the worst kind of red pill type fuckboys in my mentions. If you want to support me, that's cool, but I hope that means you're willing.
Ian, no offense, but whenever you RT me, I get the worst kind of red pill type fuckboys in my mentions. If you want to support me, that's cool. But I hope that means you're willing to listen to me and reevaluate some things about your worldview as you've done once before. Yeah, that sounds about right. My headphones. I can't wait for my new headphones tomorrow because my fucking cup wore out. That'll be tomorrow. Or the day after, I don't know. Oh, there we go. Server's up. Okay. What was that? What the fuck was that? What was that? Oh no. What was that? Ugh. Oh no. I must go home. It's the same guy again, isn't it? Fucking loser.
Warp drive active.
You gonna make it? Yes, you are. Oh, I got away, bitch! I got away. Oh.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
God damn it. Yeah, I don't know why you ran into him. Oh. Get the shockwaves out of the fucking game! Piece of shit fucking Epic! Fuck you, Epic. Get the fucking shockwaves out of the game. They ruined it. They ruined it back then, they're ruining it now. Shockwaves don't have anything to do with gunplay. The rocket launcher was cool. God damn it. Why can't I see him? He was in the middle of the fucking field. Oh! God damn it. What? Oh! No. You're so selfish. I hate you. Grats, you fucking jackasses. Grats. What was this now? Oh, is it the... Oh, yeah, it's time. It's time, yeah. Alright.
Willing to listen to me and reevaluate some things about your worldview as you've done once before. During this era, Mr. Chong was labeled a Nazi, alt-right, and eventually got PewDiePie in trouble for following him. His defense of the YouTuber is probably the greatest contribution he has ever made online. After the creator got in trouble for saying the N-word, Ian defended him by calling it a heated gamer moment. The phrase has become a timeless meme that most...
No, you're a racist if you use that word. You know?
Most people don't even know trace back to him. Ian became a laughingstock among left-wing accounts. They highlight...
I mean, yeah, he's a laughingstock anyways. He's right-wing.
...these criticisms, but found humor beyond his rhetoric.
I mean, tell me if you know any right-wingers that aren't laughingstocks backing a laughingstock president in a laughingstock fucking party.
Example, bizarre tweets that show he dealt with a constant ant infestation. My bed is full of dead and half-dead ants. You know, I actually laid down in bed earlier with the ants. The lights were off. My feet are covered in bites right now. You have never seen horror until...
Why did you go to bed with the ants?
You have never seen horror until you see ants streaming out of your keyboard. My bacon sprinkles were filled with ants once, and I had no idea until I milled a bunch of it into a...
Gross.
My bacon sprinkles were filled with ants once, and I had no idea until I milled a bunch of it into the soup I was having. They gave him the nickname Ant-Man, which made him so upset he'd seemingly quote tweet anyone that brought it up. Ian later tried to deflect by claiming it was racist against Asians. For a once self-described turbo-feminist, Ian had rather questionable takes. He stood against the feminist cult and claimed women wielded sex like a scepter. In response to an article accusing a male feminist of SA, Ian replied, "Feminists will accuse you of rape. Male feminists will rape you. both deserve each other. He was also proudly against unions because of feminism. This naturally led many to start calling him an incel. Ian denied this, though his own employer disagreed. You see, Ian also wrote for Milo Yiannopoulos' site Dangerous. His articles were published under the section Incel Corner. The result was an onslaught of memes comparing him to other famous incels. He defended himself by publicly announcing he had a girlfriend. So hey, I have a girlfriend. Sure showed you fuckers who keep bringing up Incel Corner. Fuck you, Milo, for naming the geek section that. This did little to quell the mockery, as Ian and his girlfriend were in a long-distance open relationship. He even continued to defend Milo after resurfaced clips showed him advocating for relationships between men and underage boys. Ian replied, "You have no idea what it's like to be gay or what it's like to grow up as a gay teenager in his shoes. So maybe don't talk about it and act as if you're some kind of authority on homosexuality." His disregard for truth would ultimately be his downfall at the Daily Caller. In 2018, a lone gunman shot up a Madden tournament in Jacksonville, Florida. Ian claimed the shooter was a member of the anti-Trump resistance, citing a Reddit account named Raven Champs. This was flatly debunked when the user left a comment confirming they were being lied. Ian refused to accept this, inventing a conspiracy. So this account just became mysteriously active again after almost 2 weeks of inactivity, following 4 years of constant activity, to debunk claims that it belonged to the shooter? There's no way to prove that it does or doesn't belong to the shooter. But Resistance Twitter is running wild in celebration that a mass shooter wasn't one of them. He then claimed that it didn't matter, downplayed the actions, and gave an insincere apology. The infraction was severe enough that Ian was ultimately fired. The editor-in-chief just told me Ian Miles Chong is now not affiliated with Daily Caller at all, and that he's just a random. He removed the site from his Twitter bio shortly thereafter. You may think Ian's mainstream relevance ended there, but far from it. His peak actually came several years later. But it would have to wait as Ian found himself embroiled in backlash from an entirely different sphere. Following Gamergate, many of the anti-SJW channels continued to upload videos. They became known as the Skeptics as they broadened to other subjects. It was only a matter of time before these arguments turned into live debates, usually on crude Google Meets with faceless avatars. In late 2017, many of these creators took interest in live streaming. They argued over a variety of controversial topics in what became known as internet blood sports. As you can probably guess, the appeal came more in the drama than the actual issues at hand. Many of those involved already disliked Ian, such as Mr. Medicare, also known as Jim.
I want to hear this. The last time I was on stream with Ian was when he went on with Destiny and basically tried to talk to Destiny, and then Destiny's like, you're a fucking moron. You wrote an article and you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. You can't even remember the shit you wrote in your own article. And everything he brought up was wrong.
You know, Ian? Is it Ian or Ian?
Yeah, Ian? Nobody ever says Ian, you fucking idiot. Nobody has ever called Ian Ian.
Like you have to admit that. I mean, that was
I do admit that. Yeah.
But others were willing to give him a second chance.
Fuck.
It was in this community he befriended Andy Worski, host of Worski Live. In late 2018, they created a channel together called Hype Break. It was meant to cover game news and reviews. They managed to reach 20,000 subscribers within 6 months. In spite of this, the project was short-lived as Ian outed himself as a liability. The first red flag came in March of 2018 with a video titled Ian Miles Chong has sent me someone's dogs. It was posted by a leftist YouTuber named David Sheriff. David alleged that Ian tried to give him info on a right-winger he didn't like, claiming to have obtained the subject's full name, places of employment, and resume through a private investigator.
Ian said he gathered this information with the help of private investigators and then said, quote, "The only way to get to him is through his family." Now, remember the shady stuff he accused me of that I alluded to? Well, one of those things was being part of a doxing group. I don't know what he expected me to do with this information, but there's clearly a reason he approached me with this as opposed to someone he was on good terms with.
Ian responded by claiming he was simply trying to see what the internet personality would do with it, and David betrayed his trust. He made it out like a Ford specimen. Getting David and his leftist followers
What?
for neo-Nazis is the greatest trick the devil ever pulled.
There's so many
What have
fucking
I done?
people here.
The excuse, while laughable in hindsight, was plausible just enough that some took him at his word. But tensions continued to rise within the sector. On October 20th, Ian was confronted on the kill stream by Wild Goose, the person he tried to dox.
So I was like, BWC's control every game journalist, every single one. That was my understanding. That's what they did, because every single game journalist got doxxed to being vindicated, right? They associate him with these actions. BWC's not allowed to do it because he's very active in it.
Ian claims he targeted Goose because he was part of the group that trolled journalists during Gamergate. The information was obtained with the help of a user named Mombot on Twitter. They can be seen discussing Goose's family, who were unaware of his activities.
I was misled, clearly misled, and the idea was that you were the guy, right? And that the only threat to you was not to go expose your dad. So the idea here was that we tell your dad about what you're doing. We tell your dad about what you're doing because he's a certain somebody, right?
You know, how old I am?
No, dude, I have no idea.
And I'm about 30.
Okay.
So, I don't live with my parents. I don't care what my parents think.
Goose claims Ian swatted his father's home, and during the raid, the police threw a flashbang which heavily injured the family's dog. Ian laughs about this, which he later claimed was sarcastic.
I resigned from my job, but several sheriff deputies showed up at my father's house to do a flashbang in the pool with my dad's dog. So you blew up a yellow Labrador Retriever because of mistaken identity. So, and I know that's food in your country and all, but
Yeah, I know. Totally didn't deserve to get flashbanged and all that. Totally apologize for that.
She's born.
Aw, send him my regards. Yeah, but yeah, no, seriously, though, that was a fuck up.
Now you're laughing? You think that's funny?
No, absolutely not.
Ian was piled on by everyone on the stream, which led him to disavow internet blood sports. And he tried to distance himself and quietly made plans to sell Hypeway. He was about to sign a contract that gave Ian sole ownership of the channel. That all changed, though, on July 24th, 2019. When Andy found out Ian was leaking his personal information to detractors, he discovered this live on air, but wasn't fast enough as Ian was able to walk him out of the account.
Ian Miles Charles stole the channel Hypeway that was half his and half mine, right down the middle. And why did he steal the channel? Well, because a few days ago, I discovered on a live stream that he was talking to and giving information to people who were actively trying to ruin my life. He has changed all the passwords, all the two-step authorizations I had. And the funny thing is, when I was interviewing him, he told me that we would need to use both our authorization passwords to change the password, meaning that he lied to me and was able to change the password with just his authorization password.
Ian called Andy a delusional cokehead and pointed out his legal mistakes. Earlier today, he threatened to sue me. He deleted the tweet upon realizing what a cretin he was for never having signed any agreement. It was in response to Andy teasing a video which came out on January 26th. He explains their history at length, with insight to Ian's departure from GameRanks.
But, GameRanks, he started with them and got fired for obvious reasons. But here's something GameRanks might not know. GameRanks, you do know he's still a manager on your channel and has shown us your analytics, has shown everyone your analytics, and laughs about it. Let me guess, you're making around $65,000 a month?
Andy was awoken by police 6 hours later. I just got interrogated by 2 detectives who came into my house saying they got a call that I was gonna shoot people. Funny how all the info they had on the caller matched what Ian had on me. Andy uploaded a second video, this time alleging that Ian tried to silence him.
Hey, Ian Miles Chung, you say lay off the coke? Well, I'm not on coke. Because
I think you are.
I just had 2 police officers, 2 detectives interrogate me and search my house. I allowed them to search my house. They didn't find anything.
Ian denied this and claims that they were best friends. We were business partners. We were best friends. We had plans. He let everything fall through and let me carry the channel all by myself. I carried the slack. After this, several of Andy's thumbnails were changed to inappropriate images.
What?
Further retaliation.
Come on, man! I was above him!
Thank you for
God
the
damn it.
warnings. My agent stayed up while I was still sleeping fighting gay porn thumbnails. Ian
Fuck.
was still a manager on the channel. My agent saw the changes come from Malaysia. The entire community began discussing the controversy. But strangely, videos about the subject got flagged down. This caught the attention of Keemstar, who invited them onto Drama Alert. Ian declined. Then on February 1st, Keem posted leaked audio where Ian admits to swatting.
Out saying that he's going to make a video on me. That really actually set me off. I did not need to see that. I'm more than happy to just let him leave me alone. But he forced my hand, so I called the police. I actually called the police on him. I know what he does. I know he has illegal firearms. I know that he is deeply entrenched in the alt-right. I know that he has a lot of cocaine in his house.
A lot of cocaine.
Yeah, he's
Really? He's got a lot of cocaine in his house, huh?
So,
Where does he live?
maybe they'll pay him a visit very soon.
This
Go
was
pay
followed
a visit
by
him
second
soon.
clip, which implies it was an attempted murder.
Hopefully soon the Mississauga police will be paying him a nice little visit. I told them that
I can't believe you just jumped for your fucking death. What did you do? What did you do that for? Oh my god, get out.
prone to bouts of
See, you're too press W, your whole generation. Piece of shit press W idiots. You threw our runaway, maybe. Yep. That didn't help. You fucking died. Oh. Nope, other way.
He deleted 622 tweets.
V-boost
before yet
disabled.
again calling Andy
Great.
a cokehead who was making stuff up for drama.
I best
He
go
then
to
tried
them, I
bait
guess.
sympathy by claiming to receive death threats. He couldn't keep his story straight, as he often slip up and admit to certain details. The entire scandal was covered in a video by Mr. Medic titled Ethical Ian.
That was audio from Ian Miles Chong, formerly self-described turbo-feminist and video game journalist, talking about having the police called on a man who made a mean YouTube video on him. If that sounds as fucking insane to you as it does with anyone with a functional fucking brain, then prepare to be amazed.
Ian went quiet for a few days before returning with his own coverage. Internet Bloodsports, the pay-to-play troll army terrorizing the internet. Ian admits to reporting Andy for illegal activities, but claims to regret it. The experience caused him to sink into depression.
I'm not going in to that.
Oh. Not enough to harm myself, but enough to ideate on the
Oh,
prospect of
I got away
severe
somehow.
It may come from a place of selfishness, as I am forced to ruminate upon all I have lost. This was received poorly. Even Kotaku in Action, who stood by him until this point. The entire subreddit went on to revolt over the mod's promotion of Ian, calling him a psychopath. Ian Miles Chong tried to get Andy Worski killed. If you listen to the second audio leak, this was literally his stated goal.
Oh my god.
Has promoted Ian Miles Chong so heavily that this situation makes every person involved.
Yeah, I'm out, bye.
It's extremely stupid. The mods, the Redditors, everyone. Ian laid low for a period of time.
Why were you
before
alone with those
returning to
guys?
Twitter in full force. In May of 2019, he joined Human Events, a conservative news and analysis website. He wrote an article about the
Oh, good. Yeah, websites and the right wing.
real history of Gamergate.
Always good.
Which ends with the insightful comment.
I gotta pee, I'll be right
I
back.
helped to weave the narrative. Now I'm here to set things straight. That that was while writing reviews that spoke of nothing other than identity politics. Ian also started fighting with right-wingers again, and most notably Nick Fuentes and Scott Greer. He called Nick an incel before bragging about his own weight loss. This happened over and over again. He flagged anyone that brought up the Worski affair. It's clear that after everything, Ian was unshaken in his resolve. With that said, Hypebreak didn't end as many expected. He continued using the brand, hiring a Twitter user named Smug Ruko to write for him. Smug got in hot water after trying to cancel the lead dev of Night in the Woods. Her screenshots were of a random person on Discord named Woods. It was dead on arrival as Smug later vented about Ian being a negligent boss. I'm just stressed having to manage this entire operation almost by myself. My boss hasn't made a single video since July, and as a result, my pay is almost non-existent. It has been months since my last piece was made public in a video. The reason he wasn't uploading videos is because he was trying to sell merch. He sold t-shirts referencing the Second Amendment, despite not being American. Every Democrat and neocon wants to disarm you with mandatory gun buybacks and make your right to defend yourself against state brutality a crime. To hell with that. I got annoyed, so I designed a shirt supporting the Second Amendment. At this point, Mr. Chong fully pivoted into US politics. He constantly spoke on American issues, scoring viral tweet after viral tweet. He blended in perfectly, and it wasn't long until his post reached important eyes. On December 21st, 2019, Ian was retweeted by South Carolina Governor and US Ambassador Nikki Haley. He hid every reply that pointed out he was a Malaysian national interfering with US politics. It was a great feat, but paled in comparison to his biggest score yet. Whether sincere or not, Ian was a vocal supporter of President Donald Trump, standing by him on nearly every issue. That included his stance against violent video games, believing it was linked to mass shootings. Ian justified this by blaming other journalists. I honestly can't blame Donald Trump for taking a critical view of video game violence, especially when much of the mainstream media and the gaming press itself has been perpetuating the exact same message for years. This continued further in tweets naming Polygon and Anita Sarkeesian. It was transparently ridiculous, getting backlash from his own audience. I think Trump's statement is hot garbage. I think video games don't cause shootings, and it's a false red herring and a stupid thing to spend time fear-mongering about. Where were you when Sarkeesian was making her claims about Doom and Fallout 4? Playing Doom and Fallout 4. As you can guess, Ian didn't back down, only becoming more outspoken in defense of Trump. This ramped up into the 2020 election, which is when it finally paid off. Pelosi tantrum is trending. You hate to see it. This wasn't a one-time occurrence either. It happened several times, with Trump even quote-tweeting Ian directly. The internet provocateur's coverage of groups like Antifa was useful against opposition.
Antifa!
He became a staple of MAGA Twitter, and his account skyrocketed. Ian started that year with 100,000 followers and ended it with 300,000. He started tweeting things like, "Donald Trump is my president," and "America has a communist problem. 2 out of 3 young Americans want to destroy America. The nation is lost." The latter was central to his fear-mongering as he advocated for fascism. It's okay to be fascist when the alternative is complete lawlessness and violence. Even with MAGA support, he'd catch flack for optical oversights, like mocking a 75-year-old man that was put to the ground by police. Don't trip over your feet. I deleted the original post with the video because my remarks were unnecessary and callous. Thanks for bringing me back down to earth, guys. With more eyes than ever before, you'd think that now he'd learned from his mistakes. But that simply wasn't the case. On May 30th, 2020, Ian shared a video of protesters beating up a man that held a machete. A mob of rioters just murdered a man in cold-blooded Dallas. He was defending his store. To be clear, none of what Ian claimed was true. Evidence from police, witnesses, and video footage showed the armed man charged at the protesters, not the other way around. He was not dead and in stable condition in the hospital. Ian backtracked on this, later claiming he was now a veteran. But that didn't stop Trump from then sharing Ian's narrative to the entire nation.
Innocent people have been savagely beaten. like the young man in Dallas, Texas, who was left dying on the street.
On September 15th, Ian falsely accused a man of murder. He claimed a 33-year-old named Darnell Hicks was the #1 suspect in a shooting of 2 cops. His only source was a couple of random Facebook posts and the description of a dark-skinned male. Now, Ian's tweet was contradicted within an hour by the LA County Sheriff's Department. There is a social media post that is being circulated which identifies a male out of the Los Angeles area as the suspect responsible for the ambush. This is erroneous information, and there are no named or wanted suspects at this time. Even after being debunked, Ian didn't stop. LA County Sheriff's Office may be disputing the contents of his tweet. However, more details of Hicks have gone viral on Facebook. I'll post further confirmation or details as I get them. Officially, no suspects have been named at this time. The accusation went viral, with Darnell's personal information leaked across the web. Mr. Hicks received death threats and real-life harassment as a result. He spoke about this in an interview which showed Ian's tweets on screen.
After being wrongfully accused on social media of ambushing 2 LA County Sheriff's deputies Saturday, attorney Brian Dunn with the Cochran firm.
He has no connection whatsoever. Any person would suffer greatly when falsely accused of a crime, especially a crime as heinous as this.
He started getting death threats.
You know, I have 2 daughters, and I don't even feel safe taking them out no more now.
He simply has been thrown into the pit for nothing other than the color of his skin.
Though Ian outlasted their relevance, he was still reminded of his past every so often. In one tweet, he called someone an imbecile for bringing their dog to a riot. It's not taking well to the flashbacks. When shown the irony, he denied the swatting ever happened while admitting the claim was bipartisan. Both in FIFA and some Nazi trolls, celebrity claim I called in a SWAT team to flashbang a dog. Never happened. Nothing angers me more than communications.
Yeah, I know. Totally didn't deserve to get flashbanged and all that. Totally apologize for that.
That December, Ian fell victim to a prank call from not even a show who questioned him on his past.
Hello?
Ian, it's Richard with Gamer Shame. How are you?
With what? Gamer what?
Shame. We're just doing a poll on the worst controversies in gaming and so on. We're curious what you're most proud of. Is it the pro Hitler post?
You're trolling me. Okay. Yeah.
Ian continued to support Trump until January 6th, the day that the infamous United States Capitol riot happened. For many, it was a point of no return, as supporters either doubled down or turned away from the movement. That included Ian, who called the rioters white nationalists that made conservatives look bad. If people insist on owning what happened in the Capitol, despite the fact that white nationalist extremists were the ones responsible, then don't be shocked Pikachu face when you get lumped in with the criminals. I only ever try to help people unmute themselves. The day before Biden's inauguration, Ian disavowed Trump completely. For 4 years, Trump managed to drive every conservative through the mud as they supported him and made excuses for all the times he told lies and said dumb, often inexcusable shit. He's paid everyone back by pardoning a couple of rappers and a bunch of corrupt Democrats. Lying about the size of the tiny crowd at his inauguration should have been the first move. His conviction is rather dubious for obvious reasons. He called anyone who supported a 2024 campaign delusional or grifting, which, given his current activities, seems to have changed. Many of his followers were loyal to Trump, resulting in a loss of over 70,000 followers within a month. Ian continued tweeting about U.S. politics, rebranding Hypebreak into a channel called Catch Up. He appeared on camera to comment on viral videos and news. In one clip, he praised Elon Musk for his recent acquisition of Twitter.
Elon Musk, let's talk about it for a moment. He's been successful in his bid to take over Twitter. You know, the world's richest man struck a deal with the company's board of directors a couple of weeks ago to acquire the platform in its entirety for a cool $44 billion. It's not chump change. The question is, what does he do now? Elon Musk first expressed his intent to bring about change to the social media platform after asking his massive audience of 85 million people what they felt about Twitter's adherence to free speech principles.
This was important for several reasons. PayPal had just banned Ian's account for removing a source of income. Trump's Twitter was banned, which may have influenced his pivot. And Elon was in the process of adding revenue sharing for creators. Ian had praised the richest man in the world for years, but after this turned himself into a reply guy. It was once again successful, quickly getting the billionaire's attention. Before long, Ian followed him, offering praise directly and replying every few days. It's time to stop appeasing the activists, because they will stop at nothing to hurt Twitter regardless of what you do. You're right, they stood together on everything, from the ADL to the appointments. Elon refused to play Grand Theft Auto 5 because it made you shoot police. Ian agreed. I'm glad shooting cops in Cyberpunk is completely optional. Never finished GTA 5 either, mirroring the billionaire's views on literally everything he wrote, especially once creator earnings were implemented. In 2023, Ian revealed he was making over $10,000 a month from his tweets. That was also while being one of the top 5 most often directed by the site's community.
Don't move next time. I could have rezzed all three of us.
900,000 followers.
But you moved and moved and moved and moved. You kept moving.
The dubious journalist for years. On May 4th, 2023, the quartering uploaded a video.
You moved and you fucked us.
But there's one individual that continues to ingratiate themselves with powerful people. In this particular case, Elon Musk.
Jeremy had dealt with Ian in the past, firing him from his site's exclusively games. He reveals that Ian used this position to pay a woman named Ren. Ren was the very e-girl Ian claimed was his girlfriend
E-girl.
back in 2019.
E-girl.
He worked for me as an editor.
Who talks like
He lied
to,
to
who
my
talks
face
about
and
people
said
like
He
that?
needed help editing all of these articles.
You're
that
an
were
e-girl.
written. So he hired someone called Ren.
Listening to you, you're catty. You're an e-girl.
Well, it turns out from
You're
what
the
I
e-girl.
gathered, this Ren
That's a
individual,
girl. You're an e-girl.
was an e-girl and trying to buy an iPhone or something like that. He was sending money to an e-girl who had no idea that she even worked for this website. Okay, when I confronted him over it, he had a mental breakdown, a bawling breakdown on Skype for stealing not my money but your money that people had backed the project.
Jeremy also discussed Ian's backstory from internet blood sports all the way back to Gamergate.
Eventually, when he realized there was more money on Pro Gamer's side, he made his metamorphoses to this sort of right-wing anti-cancel culture guy. But he has no idea what cancel culture is actually like. He sits over in Malaysia tweeting from his parents' basement, literally. Well, in my mind anyway.
While Ian was still successful,
In your mind.
he had little to no allies as both sides.
Damn it, Ion.
Even those unaware of his past grew up.
Is it Ian or Ion?
Constant theft of videos and information. It became such an issue that one site blacklisted the entire country of Malaysia to stop him.
Blacklisted the entire country of Malaysia.
Sorry, Malaysians.
I'll blacklist the entire country of you.
He then tried to make good with Redux, but it was too late. With the public at large sick of his behavior. The consequence was felt a few days later with a massive thread by user Censored Man. It elaborates on his past at length with a plethora of receipts. The author points out that he was a Malaysian obsessed with the web with no stake in the outlet. Ian gave up on gaming journalism.
Oh!
He lost all credibility due to being caught red-handed in the Andy Worski situation. He then turned to political journalism and decided to focus on Western issues that don't concern him. He did this due to it being the easiest way to build an audience and it being very profitable. Ian resides in Malaysia and posts divisive content about Western nations. Not because he cares, literally none of it matters to him, but because it's profitable. The thread received over 37,000 likes and 10 million views. It was successful in contextualizing his convoluted history while demonstrating willful malice. It also made the fact he wasn't an American citizen common knowledge, which he kept hidden for many years. This proved to have even more serious consequences as his own country took notice. You see, Malaysia is a conservative Muslim nation. They've never had diplomatic ties with Israel and don't recognize it as a country. In fact, the Malaysian government has jailed people for merely suggesting opening up diplomatic ties with Israel. That was a serious issue for Ian, who was vocally pro-Israel. Palestinians should stop building homes illegally on land they don't own. This caused an uproar in Malay social media, who demanded punishment. The following article was written by the outlet New Straits Times. Meanwhile, Malaysian netizens have called for Communications Minister Fahmi Fadzil to take action against Chong for his actions, particularly on his commentary on Palestinian-Israeli issues. However, counterterrorism and extremism expert Manira Mustafa suggested that legal obstacles may hinder any actions against Chong. For the record, Malaysians can be charged for sedition under the Seditions Act for expressing views that could potentially sow discord among communities in the country. It's no coincidence Ian tweeted this out the same day. I actually love my country. The food is great, it's peaceful, and it's a strong conservative nation. The article spread across Twitter like wildfire. As Ian Miles Chong started trending, many took it as confirmation he was going to be executed. With the near universal celebration, they called for his arrest and for him to face capital punishment. It might be all over for Ian Miles Chong. One of the biggest media sites in Malaysia is now publishing calls to charge him with sedition. I pray Elon Musk will chopper him out.
I pray Elon Musk. Pray to Elon Musk. Pray to Elon Musk, you fucking idiot. Pray to Elon Musk. Pray to him.
As rumors began to circulate, they suggested different
Fucking
methods
idiot.
and fake announcements.
You're kind of annoying me, buddy. I'm sorry. Some of your language, and I just can't do you right now. I'm sorry. Too right wing. Too dumb. Let's listen to
I've been
Lanza.
waiting for the perfect moment
Thank
to
you,
cover
Lanza,
Daniel
for the extra
Larson
content for
a very,
stream.
very long time. Every time I felt like tackling the subject, things would get even more insane from the guy. And so I kept pushing it off more and more in order to let things simmer and see what else he could possibly
loud.
get himself into. The time is now,
Little
however,
loud.
as let's just say that we might not see Daniel Larson in the public eye anytime
I don't
soon
know why you
for a
guys are running out of the
very
storm.
long
I'm running
time.
in the
Shout
storm.
out to the channel members like always. And if you'd want to support yourself, you can subscribe to my Patreon in the corner or YouTube
You
membership.
guys going out of the storm or what?
Hope you
Yeah,
like the
like
video.
what?
And without further ado, let's get into the deranged decay of Daniel Larson starting from the very beginning. Daniel Robert Larson was born on November 15th, 1998 in Lancaster,
the
California
fuck are
to his
you
mother
doing?
Elizabeth and his father James. Not much is known about his parents' early lives other than his father was 20 when they had him, and Daniel's childhood is just as murky, with one of the only notable things being that he had a pair of twin sisters named Joyetta and Olivia who died shortly after birth when he was around 2 to 3 years old. He's opened up about his childhood before, however, as one day he would tell the story on how he was playing with a neighbor's dog before a tragic accident happened resulting in its death.
Did you guys know I am an animal murderer? When I was a toddler, my neighbor had a dog, and that dog loved to play with me. But that dog ended up, there was like a fence, right? And I was chasing this dog, and the dog started to jump over the fence. And you know, these fences have, sometimes fences have these little spikes on the fence. It went straight down, right through his chest and killed him.
Now, obviously, Daniel isn't an animal murderer like he claims to be, but you can see how he doesn't understand things very easily, and that would become apparent early on in his life as James would abandon him and his mother sometime in 2010 after deeming him a lost cause. They would soon move to Colorado due to them having a better reputation on handling mental health compared to California, with Elizabeth herself even commenting on some YouTube video how he's not only autistic but also suffers from severe bipolar and schizophrenia, saying that he used to attack both her and his grandmother Nancy alongside his general delusional nature. One might think that Daniel was a straight-up menace throughout his childhood for no discernible reason, but allegations of him being sexually abused and neglected in his childhood would spread around as people learn more about him. While there was no evidence of any sexual abuse being brought upon him, the neglect was somewhat believable as Elizabeth was wheelchair-bound due to lupus and eventually lost custody of Daniel by the state of Colorado very soon after they moved there. He's claimed after this he was moving from house to house looking for a potential foster family for a while, with leaked documents sent to potential foster parents stating a lot about his tendencies, such as his history of property damage, kicking animals, self-harm, and verbal and physical threats and actions.
I moved to Colorado because my mother forced me to.
Really? Was she bad?
She was an idiot, but, you know, I forgive her, and I, you know...
Is she still alive?
You know, I don't know. I think she's still alive. You know, I think she's jealous of my popularity.
I am too, dude. You're famous.
Yeah, but I mean, it is no good. You know, being famous is definitely not easy.
Yeah. So is your like, not to...
Well, at this point where, I want to say neglectful.
Yeah.
So, growing up, I was moving house to house to house. So, if you know how homeless...
Fucking asshole was dead. He didn't kill me.
It was kind of
These guys suck so bad. They wandered all over the entire match.
Eventually gained custody
Fucking
of him
idiots.
after bouncing from house to house. Though it is said that she enabled his bad behavior rather than punish him due to love, pity, or simply being how grandmothers tend to be with their grandchildren. Elizabeth has gone on to refute the claims of neglect by the general public and say her mother was lying about her to people. But again, given she's wheelchair bound, it's very likely this was the case even if it was out of her own control and not really her fault in a normal sense. During this time period, Daniel was a member of the Tennyson Center for Children, an assisted living facility meant to help and rehabilitate children with mental deficiencies and hardships throughout their life up to that point. He would end up meeting his mentor Robert Bob Proctor here and become close with each other during his stay at the place. He was even seen in a news segment about the place in 2012, as while he wasn't the main focus, he was one of the children shown to be heading in the right direction at the time.
First came here, I actually was really nervous.
That's 14-year-old Danny, who came from an extremely neglectful home. When his grandmother got word of Danny's situation, she moved here from California to be a guardian, so he wouldn't end up in a foster
BRB.
home. Danny still lives at the center for a year and a half, but now lives with his grandma, continuing to go to school at Tennyson and receive treatment.
When he came to Tennyson almost 3 years ago, he was very angry and confused and feeling very uncertain about his life and where he belonged and what was going to happen.
But looking at Danny now, you will see a smiling, laughing young boy with the world ahead of him.
This is wonderful today!
Danny and his grandmother have both seen huge improvements.
I learned to, when I'm in school, to do school and don't never quit, because if you quit, you won't know what to do. And
Danny now has big dreams and is looking forward to the future.
I like theater. I love to act. I want a film chase when I get older. Hopefully I'll be on the news one day.
Despite the praise and the good framing the news report put on him, Daniel was still said to be a violent person as he threw a chair at a window once, knocking down a light fixture in the process somehow. He would run throughout the hallways to avoid staff trying to get to him, with him eventually given a permanent guardian to watch over his every move 24/7 around the place. He would even claim there was a room they would throw him into sometimes called the timeout room, a room that was made of all brick and was only lit up by a single window as a form of punishment. Given how outlandish this sounds, this is most likely him just lying to people. He was also a volunteer dog walker around October 2012 according to his LinkedIn page, though not much else is known about his time doing that or if he ever even did it in the first place. Sometime in September 2014, Daniel started to attend music theater programs in the city either set up by Nancy or himself, nobody really knows. Some of his roles will be listed on a piece of paper, with most being relegated to background roles, save for the time he played King Triton in The Little Mermaid at one point. This would be the start of Daniel's enjoyment for singing and his craving for fame, as if there was anything he wanted more in life, it was to be adored by fans around the world. In 2016, Daniel would start to attend the Sobeski Academy, a school that was occupied predominantly by students in need of rehabilitation to help them get through it to get back to a normal school setting. Daniel was even present during the grand opening, and despite the goal being to send the students back to a normal school environment, he spent his whole high school life there before graduating out of the program. A Redditor would even open up about their time being around him at the school, saying how he was pretty normal throughout the entire time they were there with him, and that while he did still have academic issues as we've seen so far, his turnaround from graduation into today was like night and day to him. Daniel will be seen around the school participating in activities like being a mascot for local events, and for a second it seemed he was heading down the right path in his life during his time there. He will continue to hone in on his interest in singing in his pastime by watching the show America's Got Talent, going on to discover the child protege Grace Vanderwall in one of the episodes
Grace
in 2016 when she
Vanderwall.
was just 12 years old and he was 17. He would become infatuated with her in the process and start the beginning of his adoration for her, even calling her cute on social media in 2019, meaning that even into adulthood he was still interested in her. It seemed that Daniel was doing alright for himself during his time at Sobeski. However, things would take a turn as on November 6, 2017, just 9 days before his 19th birthday, Daniel would assault his paralyzed and wheelchair-bound mother before police were called, making this the first time he was ever arrested in his life. This would end up with him getting 44 days of jail time and delaying his graduation from the school in the process. He has since said this is because of a buildup of rage throughout his childhood, but given he's a known liar, nobody can say for certain what caused this to happen.
15 years of my parents hitting me with belts, my dad asking me to smoke cigars as a child.
Nope.
Decided to
Lies.
push my mother out of the way one time when she cornered me when I was 18. And they called that assault. And I went to jail for 45 days. But if my mother
You went to jail for
was the one
45
that was
days?
abusing me my whole life and never got in trouble, and I did one thing to her and went to jail for 45 days. I did one thing, she did like 150 things. She should be the one to get the blame. In the end, God has a golden rule: treat others the way you want to be treated. So she actually well deserved that one thing for what she did. I took this to court and I told them, believe it or not, they lifted the case. My mother still doesn't have a restraining order, and she should.
Nonetheless,
You're not gonna shoot, huh? Not gonna shoot the guy, or?
At the age of 19 in 2017, never attending college after, and continuing to live with Nancy now that he was taking his first steps into adulthood. Things would be quiet for a bit from him until 2019, as on April 11th that year, Daniel would have to put down him and Nancy's dog Broadway due to battling cancer. Just a few months later, Nancy herself would pass away from cancer as well on July 24th, 2019, with Daniel allegedly not showing up to see her as she was dying due to being at a local Special Olympics event that day. After her passing, he was sent to a state-run home for the disabled.
A local Special Olympics event that day.
Sometime that year, with him apparently getting scammed out of $500 via a gift card scam of some sort. In 2019, he would also start to post on social media for the first time after getting himself a phone, with his Instagram account named after his dog being mainly full of reposts of the same couple videos and photos, some showing his time in the local Special Olympics scene and others showing him practicing how to sing. Daniel's very first YouTube channel named after him is also more of the same, with only 3 videos posted on it. The first being him singing on the side of the road, the second of him running in a track circle while listening to music, and the third of him eating a real good sandwich. Good food.
Oh god.
All the social media accounts he created, however, none were more important than his first TikTok account, DanielLars20, though he would only upload 3 videos to it between September to October 2019. While they aren't important in any way at all whatsoever, this would be the beginning of the modern story of Daniel Larson. As well as Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter accounts were around, it was TikTok where the majority of people would get their first taste of the man and the massive rabbit hole they would soon discover. Daniel will make a new TikTok account sometime in March 2020 named Daniel Larson Fans. And despite it being named as a fan page, it was just Daniel himself posting on it like any normal person would on their social media. His hunger for fame would be the driving force in growing this account, and he would soon find himself getting people's attention after posting a video dedicated to George Floyd during the BLM riots that took place during late spring to early summer 2020 in what is known as the Green Room, one of Daniel's first notable filming locations.
This is for George Floyd.
George Floyd. Oh god damn it, no. Jeez. God damn it, where were you assholes?
Another video that takes place in the Green Room has Daniel rolling all over
Run,
the
bitch, run.
with the reason as to why currently being unknown.
Better run, fool.
While these are certainly entertaining in their own right, the video that put Daniel on the map would be when he told his small fan base goodnight, with it going viral on TikTok as people took interest due to his interesting overall persona.
Good night, everyone. Thank you all for your support.
This newfound fame would cause a lot of people to start looking into him and troll him due to his obviously eccentric nature, with one of those trolling arcs being them convincing him that the BLM riots were actually his own fans and dubbed it the Daniel Larson riots in this successful attempt at manipulation.
This is 30 seconds of silence for the people who have passed away in the Daniel Larson riots.
Okay. Daniel Larson riots.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
God damn it.
This fame would start to get to his head rather quickly, as on July 14th, 2020, he would announce that he was running for President of the United States of America in a brand new video. He would push his campaign forward with his commercial on TikTok promoting his presidential run, and in turn would be given the moniker Mr. President by those wanting to see this man become the most powerful person in America. As more and more people started to learn about the man, Daniel found himself being approached by multiple music labels wanting to help further his music career, except these labels are actually just trolls messing with the guy for their own kicks. Oblivious to all of this, Daniel will find himself in a bunch of Zoom meetings with these so-called label executives, even finding himself his first manager, someone who goes by the name of Flexburger. On October 23rd, he would even livestream himself teaching a little girl how to make music and hanging out with her, with people seeing this as him just being a normal guy doing normal guy stuff. He would eventually release his first big song through Roach Records, with this being his first steps into mainstream stardom.
What's up? This is Big D. Y'all ready to party? All these fake record labels trying to reach out to me. One thing they don't know is they call me Big D.
These ties to the music industry would prove to be beneficial, as Daniel would find himself shaping up to work on a collab with the rapper Drake in the nearby future, showing that despite his severe mental disabilities, nothing was impossible with hard work and a little bit of luck.
What's up? Free Drake.
What was that? You just don't want to wait, huh? Oh, okay.
It turns out, however, that Drake and Daniel have a lot more in common beyond just making banger music, as on November 20th, 2020, Flexburger, unbeknownst to Daniel, will leak his Pinterest account for the world to see. The account will be full of pictures of underage girls, including Grace Vanderwall and Darcy Lynn Farmer, both who were around 16 years old at the time, and had references to age of consent and other strange things throughout. People start to hound Daniel to give answers as to what exactly is going on here, as the evidence was not making him look good whatsoever, in which he would confess it was indeed his account and would admit to some other stuff that made him look a whole lot worse than anybody could have ever expected.
In the past, I used to use pictures of girls and match to them.
Yeah, Daniel just admitted to enjoying pictures of underage girls like that, meaning that the funny, weird man that people were trolling online is probably a pedophile. This would cause an uproar in the Daniel Larson fanbase, as their favorite online figure was now a nonce. And so they would drag him into a meeting to discuss what was going on, only for Daniel to start denying it and say it wasn't him, and any other instances of him engaging with minors was him getting hacked online.
I've been having issues with my media, like getting hacked, spam messages, the comments getting hacked.
He would continue to deny the Pinterest account was his, seeing this as his only escape for what he did, but his fans weren't buying it as they quickly started to turn on the man. Roach Records would drop the guy as nobody wants someone like that on their music label, and Daniel would go on to say that he signed with Interscope and Party House Records, though this is obviously just more trolls messing with the guy. Daniel would continue to interact online despite his reputation being ruined, and trolls would start to up the ante by ordering pizza to his house, all while he kept denying the Pinterest account was his to any other people who asked him about it. He will blame his old management team on the controversy and say it was their fault, even saying this was a smear campaign by the public and that he hired a private investigator despite everyone knowing this is a lie, as he doesn't have the money to do that sort of stuff. People very quickly learned that Daniel was a liar and would do whatever it takes to get himself out of a situation, and so their trust in the man was all but shattered in a mere matter of days. Nonetheless, he would continue on with his career and push through the controversy by posting random videos throughout the weeks, such as him doing a BLM tribute for singer Blake Shelton in the middle of the street. This narrative posting would come with a little bit of trolling as expected, however, such as people getting him to shout out EDP445 much to their enjoyment.
I just wanted to shout out the YouTuber EDP445. I am sorry for the allegations against you. We are in this together. I have been there too. I hope we could possibly collaborate in the future. If you need anything, feel free to message me.
Things would suddenly go quiet, however, as Daniel would stop posting on December 20th, 2020, with people wondering if he gave up on his career or if something else was going on. This silence would go on for months, and most people would throw in the towel and believe he moved on in life after his short-lived career. This blackout would be short-lived, however, as Daniel would come back to social media in March 2021 after this 3-month break, with people still to this day having no answer as to why he left in the first place. This would also mark the beginning of the headset art, in which Daniel would be seen wearing a headset while making his TikTok videos with the rest of his remaining fanbase. He would continue to deny the allegations despite nobody believing him by this point, and for the next couple of weeks wouldn't post anything noteworthy as he was getting back into the online scene.
What? The allegations right now against me are fake. Please do not believe them.
Oh, second place.
That is
they landed on us, son of a bitch. Get the shockwaves out of the fucking game. Piece of shit, worthless developers.
Unfortunately, it is not
Get the
my
shockwaves
phone
out of the
number.
fucking
The only
game.
phone number I have
Piece of shit, worthless
is
developers.
The one I'm using right now, which is 5. That is the only number I have. Interscope Records is working on everything, trying to clear everything.
Interscope Records.
Things would start to ramp up again during this time period as he would be involved in a car crash, and while it was more
Oh my god, he's in Thornton and he had a car crash.
so the people behind
That's Colorado.
him who were injured rather than him,
Yeah.
he again shows just how eccentric his behavior is like to those watching.
What's that sound? What is that sound?
Flexburger would pull off a sting operation on Daniel around this time, with him pretending to be an underage girl and getting him to send NSFW messages and images, as it was clear Daniel had no control over his urges by this point. Daniel would soon declare war on Flexburger after figuring out he was the one who leaked his Pinterest in the recent leaks, in which Flexburger was already planning something behind the scenes now that their beef was officially on. On May 6, 2021, Daniel will livestream a concert on TikTok Live, with this concert consisting of him playing random music while walking around and receiving phone calls from trolls. That same day, he will upload a TikTok stating he was gonna get into the adult film industry, much to the surprise of his audience. And later that day, would strip down naked on TikTok Live, showing off his entire body for the viewers to see as hilarity ensued, with his account getting banned very shortly afterwards for obvious reasons. He would make a new account within the next 24 hours and post a video asking people to follow him back, saying he got hacked, but everyone knew by this point it was just another successful troll pulled off on him by Flexburger. He would then go naked once again on this account and get banned once more, and I believe the very censored video I'm playing is the incident of that, but there's no date attached to it, so take that however you will. Daniel will continue to get himself into more and more controversial situations, such as how he was apparently under heavy watch by his parole officer and could go to jail if he messes up again, alongside multiple accounts getting hacked or banned for various reasons on the site. He would continue to dig his hole deeper and deeper as he would make some interesting posts about his opinions on certain stuff, among other things as well.
In my opinion, if underage can actually do with the consent of parents, if, you know, they do it the right way.
On May 11th, he would start up another livestream talking to a therapist without letting them know, with some people wondering if he was finally trying to get help for his issues or if it was just a front to look good to the public.
Are you finally getting help for your issues? The public wants to know.
During this time period was his harassment of Grace Vanderwall, as Daniel would be seen spamming the comments of her TikTok page in a
Leave
bizarre
Grace
manner,
Vanderwall
and he would
alone.
be seen talking about her in a call with a bunch of other random people. His obsession with Grace would only grow bigger, as one day trolls were able to convince him she was in the hospital, in which he would start to run around the city of Denver yelling at everyone about the dire news.
There's currently a celebrity in the hospital. We are asking that the information gets loose. Thank you, everyone. Please spread the message.
Grace Vanderwall.
There's currently a celebrity. There's currently a celebrity in the
There's currently a celebrity in the hospital.
hospital. Please
Oh my god.
spread the news. There's currently a
Please spread the news. There's currently a celebrity in the hospital.
Celebrity of the name of Grace Vanderwall
Grace Vanderwall in the hospital.
that just passed away as of 6:30 tonight.
Oh no, you sent him off on some kind of psychotic episode.
We're asking that the message
Please wait to be seated.
gets spread. Do you guys?
I don't want to talk about Grace Vanderwall. Please wait to be seated.
Think you guys can spread the message through here? Grace Vanderwall.
Isn't she from ABQ? She died?
She just died.
She died? No. But you're a fucking troll, and you're trolling this poor Denver dude.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, stop it. Yeah, please stop it. Grace Vanderwall is dead, or whatever. No, she's not, but I mean, what's the point of this? I mean, like, even in the psychotic episode, what's the point of it? If I'm gonna have a psychotic episode, I'm not involving somebody else. You know? It's my psychotic episode. I'm not bringing someone else into it. Okay, Pleasant Park it is. I'm faster than you. No, you don't. Oh, that was not the right thing to do. Whoa! I almost got him. God damn it. What's your health at, you bitch? What's your health at? Oh, come on. This fucking asshole. What was that? I did like 140 to him or something. Where'd you get it? Where'd you get the health at, huh? Oh. Ugh. Look at this crackhead. I almost don't want to be on the same team as this person. Disgusting. Dishonorable. Ooh. God damn it, you're so annoying. Is he gonna res him? You are so annoying. You're so annoying. I killed that whole team. They're like rezzing in there. It's so annoying. I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'm gonna kill you, bitch. Oh no, what's that sound? I don't have the ammo to kill this guy. I better run. Oh no, there's all these chests in here. I better just get a gun. What the fuck? Son of a bitch. Oh, god damn it. It's fine. I don't know. Yeah, that's better than nothing. me go back to their shit. I'm like out, but I can. Did they die? Yeah, he did die. Ooh. That's not too good. That's his loadout. Kahootie. Damn, you a crackhead, yo. Now I'm on your team. I didn't like you last match. Wow.
Currently, I was actually supposed to do a collaboration with her.
I'm supposed to do a collaboration with her?
And she just passed away. I was like talking
She just
with her
passed
just
away.
as she died. Yeah.
Better be fake news.
It's not. It's actually.
It is.
I'm gonna be honest. It just happened, so the news has not picked it up yet, but they will be shortly.
They will be shortly. I'm telling you what's happening. Scorpity is celebrity in the hospital.
That's very rude of you.
And you're talking gibberish. Let's go.
That was assault, by the way.
Nope.
Yeah, it was. I have it all on film. No, I'm not going to because you tried to grab me. I did not try to. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. It's all on film.
At one point, he would even head to a local movie theater and claim he was.
Oh my god, I used to work at this fucking Regal meter. Oh my god, it's the Monaco movie theater. It's the Monaco movie theater. I used to stand right here, right the fuck here.
At one point, he would even.
What? Oh my god, it actually is. It's my old work when I was like, I don't know, what were we? Fucking 17, I think?
Even head to a local movie.
Yep, that's it.
Movie theater and claim he was dating her. Mind you.
Oh, I hated that job. I hated that job. I remember the one thing that stands out about that job is I thought it would be so cool to go watch free movies all the fucking time, right? And be like a movie freak. But no, you don't want to go to work. You're stoned. You know, you're stoned. You don't want to go to work. They'll find out you're stoned. So then, finally we did go watch a movie one day, and we got drunk on fucking pineapple or whatever it was. It was green apple puckers or something dumb. And, yeah, we got drunk and watched Jersey Girl, which is a fucking, Kevin Smith movie. Like the worst movie that I'd ever seen. And I remember we were particularly drunk and
with her being a minor at the time still, showing that his obsession was going insane. He even made a video where he was moaning for her in one of the craziest posts I've seen on the internet in a while.
Oh.
This message is for Grace.
Do the creep. Do the creep.
On June 25th,
Do the creep. Do the creep.
2021, Daniel will upload a slew of videos of him in distress and begging to get into contact with Grace, making threats on himself at some points as he loses his mind on camera. On the 4th of July, he will upload a video claiming that Grace died after trolls got to him once more.
Oh my god, you did it twice. Oh my god, because you got attention. I know why he's doing it now. It took me a long time to figure it out, but the way of looking at it from the outside, he knows that it'll get attention, and he knows that nobody will actually put him in jail. Nobody will put him in jail. Everybody will say that he's mentally disabled. So he's riding that fucking... He's just riding that horse. He's just riding it. That's fucked up. How did they do that? They like move. Level 106 with no Fortnite monthly. Wow. Well, at least a bunch of us have armor. That guy landed as far from us. Nice. Anything good? Nope. Oh, well, yes, actually, it did drop something good finally. Sweet. Yep, and you're dead. Friend request from Mark the Goat. No, I'm okay, but thank yous. Mark the Goats. Oh no. The fuck are you going, idiot? Nice. What was that? Mark the Goat MP1. 140 shots gonna fuck around with this guy. Who else wants some? That shit fucks you up. Oh no. Need armor and I can't find it. It's annoying. Annoying.
Which he would give insight on his past actions as stalking minors and Grace in specific in a very rare moment of clarity.
I admit to stalking minors and in Grace and sending Grace a pic. I'm sorry for putting Grace through so much stress that she takes her own life and has a heart attack.
This moment of clarity, however, would go as soon as it came, as he would continue to post about her, this time now saying that her father was raping her as people kept up with his life. Daniel will put out his most famous song to date, Rolling Thunder, in the midst of this Grace Vanderwall meltdown on July 15th, and on July 28th, he would go live on TikTok and claim that he just got banned from all Walmarts in the United States, going on to argue with employees as he was getting kicked off the property.
I can actually be here. This is public grounds.
Nope, it's actually private property.
Then why can people go shopping here?
Because they can shop with a private business company, but if the private business owners kick you out, then it's a problem.
Not my problem. Not my problem.
Soon after the incident, he would go on to say the reason as to why he was banned.
Walmart just kicked me out for touching kids.
He would go on to plan a protest against the company for this ban, but it would turn out this is a troll who is pretending to be a Walmart representative to mess with him some more, adding yet another tally to the ever-growing mark of successful trolls in Daniel's life. During this headset arc, he even came out as transgender and would continue to say it throughout the weeks. But it was clear this was just more insane ramblings coming from the man, so nothing ever came
It was
of
clear.
Sometime in July 2021, Daniel would find himself a new caretaker named Jonas and live at his place in a room dubbed the Pink Room, but he was already trashing it up by smashing holes in the wall in his fits of rage. This would eventually culminate in Daniel recording him during one of his episodes on August 14th, with him trying to say that Jonas assaulted him when it was clear Daniel was just screaming wolf to try to make him look bad.
You hit me! No! What? Get off me! Get off me! If you try to hit me one more time, I have it all on recording! You tried to hit me! I'm on the floor! I'm doing nothing to you! I'm doing nothing to you! You tried to hit me! I just did self-defense! I'm on the floor! I didn't do anything! I just did self-defense! I even have it on film with you trying to, like, I don't even know anymore. I'm afraid of you.
Around this time, he also embarked on the fog art, a time period in which his phone camera would look extremely blurry when he was recording himself, hence the art getting its name. While it had first been seen in November 2020, it wasn't until summer 2021 where it would be seen on a consistent basis, with people wondering as to what was going on with this phone. It turns out he was told to put tape over his camera by his managers as a way to gain extra publicity, which in an ironic twist of fate, made this trolling attempt a positive for both the trolls and for Daniel in this case, as it did bring more attention to him. After seeing Daniel's meltdown on Jonas, people looked more into his time at the place, such as how he became extremely paranoid about the mac and cheese that was made for him.
I want to know who the put jalapenos in this. I know why this tastes different. It's got something in it that's like sour as well. And if you look, it's got like little things in it. I don't know what it is. Well, that makes a lot of sense. We don't have the milk, so the asshole care provider didn't do the milk. Like, I'm going to be straight up serious. Why does the mac and cheese taste a lot like ranch, but with like a tangy taste? Like, that doesn't make any sense. The mac and cheese tastes more like honey mustard, which is really weird. And if you look, bingo.
This is the most brain function people have seen from Daniel ever, and this shows he's able to deduce honey mustard was in his mac and cheese. Meaning that if he wants to, he can think hard about things. Soon after the Jonas incident, Daniel will hatch up a new plan to become more famous online, as while he was already known to be
Oh shit, what the fuck was that?
in turn would embark on what would become the next major era in the story of Daniel Larson. In August 2021, a fake Grace Vanderwall account would convince Daniel to get himself a mohawk, and so people would sit by and see what would happen next. Fans would also notice that he was now in California for some reason too. Even though he said he was in Los Angeles, it was actually